Hey believers, first of all, let me start off by apologizing. It's been way too long since I've done a Twidio blog, and really, there's just no excuse, so I'm not even going to try to make one, but just know I apologize and it won't happen again. So anyways, here we are. We're going to get to the questions that you've sent to me on Twitter, hashtag AskEve. There's been some good ones. The first one is from @TrueTorres fan, and it says her real name is Mrs. Kaylee Torres. And her question was, what are the top 5 things you need to have with you at all times? Number one, this thing, my iPhone. I can't go without it, although somehow I manage to lose it at least once a day, maybe twice. It's really bad. My iPhone. Then I'd have to say lip gloss. Here it is in my pocket. See, it just goes to show. I'm like addicted to lip gloss and chapstick and everything. I need to have something on my lips at all time. Third, I'd have to say is my Gracie hoodie, which I have on right now. I just don't go anywhere without it. I love it. It's my favorite hoodie. If you want to get one yourself, go to gracieacademy.com. And I'd have to say also my eye cover, because that's how I sleep, and my blankie. That's right, I have a blankie. I never had a blankie growing up. My brother had a blankie. I never had a blankie. And then I got into my 20s, and guess what? I got a blankie. Do you want to see him? It's my blankie. It's really soft. It's from Brookstone. And yeah, you should get one yourself if you don't. I can't even sleep without this blankie on the road. It's the best thing ever. So those are the 5 things that I can't travel without. The next question is from wrestling_1000, and it says the real name is CS, his initials are CS, and the question is, what's your favorite fruit? Well, I'd have to say papaya. It's my favorite fruit. I guess because it's exotic, it's healthy, and it's delicious. So that's the answer. Next, Jeffrey Believe, and his real name I think is Jeffrey Andreas. His question was, I heard you entered USC with full scholarship and graduated there with honor. Why didn't you work as an engineer? Well, the easy answer to that is that being a WWE diva is way more fun. But essentially, I have always had a passion for entertaining, for competing, for traveling the world. And so I decided I had to pursue that passion before I kind of settled down and you know, I feel like once I started to work as an engineer, I'd kind of be stuck there. So I had to pursue my passion. You know, you're only young once, and I knew I had my degree, and I always had that to fall back on, and I still have that. And who knows, maybe someday I'll go back to school and continue my education. But right now, I'm being a WWE diva, and I love it. Next question is from It's Noelle, and her real name I think is, I'm guessing it's pronounced Noelle Garcia. And her question is, I, as well as many teens, sometimes have insecurities. What were some of your insecurities growing up? That's a great question. For me, probably one of my main insecurities was just my body. Like, I always had insecurities about my weight, and, you know, I've never been somebody who was just naturally very skinny. And so I always had to, you know, focus on fitness and working out and eating right. I never just had kind of that natural body type that was, you know, super skinny. So, you know, I've been blessed with a healthy body so that I can work out and exercise, but that was something I had to make a priority in my life, because if that was the insecurity I was experiencing, it's like, you know, we all have insecurities, but how do we overcome them, and how do we master them? And will it remain an insecurity for the rest of my life? Possibly, but at least I know that it just drives me to excel and to work on it, constantly work on it. So that's my answer to you. But you're absolutely right. Everyone has insecurities, and it's just a matter of how we overcome them. Next question from Adoran Eve Torres. Thanks. Kimberly is her name, and she said, with all of the traveling around different places as a diva, what do you do once you get a break off? And I try to do a lot of things. I guess one thing I love, which I've been doing a lot more, is taking dance classes, because it's just so different, and it's fun, and it's still exercise, but it's getting away from the normal gym routine that I always have. And I still have that, you know, part of me that wants to dance. So sometimes I take dance classes. I love going for runs on the beach. I love to train jiu-jitsu on my days off, and you know, I love to just spend time with my friends. I don't really get to do that much, so it's really important that I make, you know, the people in my life who are important to me a priority. So I try to do that on my time off. Stay busy. All right, I think we'll do one last question, and let's find a good one. This one is from Flawless Eve 1. His real name is Michael, and he asked, what was the first car you ever owned? Well, Michael, the first car I ever owned was a Ford Focus, and I called her Brown Sugar. Really, she was just brown and ugly, but you know, I had to think of a name that was like cute and kind of sexy, so I named her Brown Sugar. The funny thing is, actually, when I got my contract, I gave Brown Sugar to my brother, and then I upgraded. At the time, it was a Camry hybrid, but I gave it to my brother, and he gave her a sex change, and then named him Woodrow. So, yes, my car is now named Woodrow, and he looks much more like a Woodrow, I have to agree. But yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? I kind of miss Brown Sugar a little bit. Had some great memories in that car. So I think that's all for this edition of Ask Eve. Thank you all for your questions. If you have future questions and you want me to answer them in a video blog and post your username, then send your questions to @EveMarieTorres on Twitter and #AskEve, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Thanks, guys.